Welcome to the Fox 54 Week in Review. I'm Kenesha Dees. It's the only place in North Alabama to get the week's local headlines condensed into one program. Here's a taste of what's ahead. Our top stories this week: a Decatur police officer on administrative leave after a shooting, and the future of an all-girls behavioral facility in question. Let's take a look. An officer-involved shooting in Decatur last night left one man in the hospital, and tonight we've learned the officer involved is on administrative leave while the investigation unfolds. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us the latest from Decatur.
A routine traffic stop turned into an officer-involved shooting just last night here in Decatur. Today, the police department confirmed some of the details about the incident, and residents are saying they're concerned for safety in the area. According to Decatur police, it all started around 8:30 p.m. with a traffic stop near 2nd and 11th Avenue. When stopped, Decatur police say the currently unnamed suspect immediately got out of his car and showed what appeared to be a gun. They wouldn't confirm whether the suspect actually had a gun or if the object just looked like one. Police say the lead officer drew his service pistol and fired about 3 times, hitting the suspect at least once. The assisting officer soon arrived and made life-saving measures on the suspect until medical crews got there. They took him to Decatur Morgan Hospital, where he remains today in stable condition. The officer who fired the shots is now on administrative leave with pay until the investigation is finished.
We have 4 core values, which is loyalty, accountability, trust, and transparency. And I think we've been doing a great job with that.
Residents on 11th Avenue, where the shooting occurred, are shocked, telling me it all happened in what seemed like a matter of seconds. Take a listen.
Nobody usually shoot around here. But so when it happened, I guess like a lot of people ain't even, it's too fast. Like we ain't even have a reaction time. Like it was really like 5 minutes when this stuff happened, and they came down here, and then the cops was just all over the place down there. So
the investigation was turned over to the Morgan County Sheriff's Office, which will submit the findings to the district attorney when it's all said and done. We'll have more details for you as they come out. In Decatur, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Owens Crossroads meeting in special session Thursday afternoon discussing the future of Pathway of Madison County, an all-girls behavioral facility which has seen security concerns in recent weeks and months. City leaders are now asking their attorneys to pursue legal action against Pathway. Fox 54's Gabe Glassman was at tonight's meeting and has more.
We'll also make a motion for our attorneys to pursue any and all legal remedies available concerning the issue at hand.
What Mayor Tony Craig is referring to is Pathway at Madison County, an all-girls behavioral facility which has seen serious security concerns recently, those including numerous escapes from the site last week and even a riot within the facility last year. Owens Crossroads initially suspended Pathway's business license but renewed it back in August. The city council meeting in special session Thursday afternoon after recent events. City leaders spending around 45 minutes behind closed doors in executive session discussing future action, which is now directing the city's attorney to pursue legal action against the facility.
They're not escaping from themselves. They're escaping because there are problems in that facility.
Birmingham-based troubled teen industry attorney Tommy James made his way inside the council chambers on Thursday. He's represented children facing abuse in similar facilities across Alabama in the past. He spoke to us about the local situation.
I've seen it over and over again when the warning flags here. Apparently the city council's doing the right thing, so it's a good day for the children who reside there now and any other children who could possibly go there later, because hopefully they're going to go somewhere safe, because that place is not safe. These kids aren't running away for no reason. These kids aren't safe in these places, and they all need to shut down. We need to provide more options for them out in the community. They don't need to be in these places. Some of them are worse than prison. They're treated worse than animals. So it's a really good day.
We reached out to Pathway CEO Joe Peoples about the pending legal action. He did not have any comment at this time. From Owens Crossroads, Gabe Glassman, Fox 54 News.
It was not immediately clear what type of legal action would be pursued by the city. We'll keep you updated as this story develops. Last week, we told you about a major retail development coming to North Huntsville. This week, we learned more about those plans and what some residents think. Big changes coming to North Huntsville after the city council approved a sprawling development along North Memorial Parkway, just north of Alabama A&M. According to the city of Huntsville, the development will add to an existing development near the intersection of North Memorial Parkway and State Route 255. otherwise known as the Northern Bypass Project that's been coming for years. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo shows us the project.
Last night's city council meeting approved a massive new development for North Huntsville, eventually bringing a total investment of almost $500 million to the area. The development, known as the North Village Town Center, is planned to encompass more than 500,000 feet of shopping center. According to the city of Huntsville's Shane Davis, it'll have about as much space as the Jones Valley Target Shopping Center in South Huntsville. Its location will be right across Memorial Parkway from the North Huntsville Food City. The city has already been working on infrastructure in the area, investing almost $100 million over the past 4 years. According to plans released by the city last night, it'll eventually include a Target and a Home Depot as initial anchors. Davis says it'll bring new restaurants, stores, and residential areas to North Huntsville. Take a listen.
It just brings a better quality of life, and I think it will spur yet more residential development because, quality of life for us is where we work and where we live, but also the convenience factor, and that's one of the things that we've struggled with in North Huntsville. That's new residential starts and be able to show that there's growth there occurring and additional infrastructure.
The first phase of construction is set to begin in the spring, with the first stores opening in 2027. Phase 2 will come right after, set to be right across the Northern Bypass. In Huntsville, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Some very exciting news. Well, according to the city of Huntsville, the development should include department and home improvement stores, more grocery options, health and fitness centers, restaurants, and small businesses. A major new retail and restaurant development is coming to North Huntsville. The $240 million North Village Town Center promises hundreds of thousands of square feet of shopping and dining options at the intersection of State Route 255 and Memorial Parkway. Project Surge, known as the North Village Town Center, will feature initial anchor stores, Super Target and Home Depot, along with restaurants, a grocery store, small shops, and health and fitness options.
The plans for the new development were approved at a council meeting on November 6th. Councilwoman Michelle Watkins is collaborating with Invest Northwest to bring a variety of projects to District 1, emphasizing the positive impact it will have on the local economy and community.
It's not like directly in the middle of the community where, it will cause any disruptions. But at the same time, it's important for us to have, places where we can shop within the community as well. Greenways are definitely important. We still have some areas in greenways in District 1. You have Wade Mountain, and then you have District 1 Greenway coming through as well.
While Councilmember Watkins highlights the benefits of the North Village Town Center, Lyndon Britton says he has some concerns about the impact the project could have on traffic, infrastructure, and community planning. Britton, a candidate for Alabama House District 21, examined the nearest Target on University Drive to call attention to parking issues. His screenshots show most of the lot sits empty for much of the year, only 10 to 15% full on weekdays and about 20 to 25% full on weekends. He questions whether so much land should be paved and managed for stormwater when it's barely used.
It's great convenience, and I'm all for the city investing in making commute time shorter, bringing those amenities out to these more rural areas. But again, looking at the long-term impacts of, okay, this is just a place to shop or park and shop, there's not really any sort of community engagement there.
As Huntsville prepares for this major development, Phase 1 of Super Target and Home Depot is expected to begin in the second quarter of 2026. City officials and residents alike are weighing the benefits and potential challenges. In Huntsville, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
Councilmember Watkins encourages residents to engage with the project and help shape future development, ensuring it serves the needs of the community. North Alabama residents got a special light show earlier this week. The Aurora Borealis was seen across the night sky. Here are some images from viewers and explanation about the hot phenomenon that happens. If you looked up at the sky last night, you might have caught a glimpse of some beautiful colors and lights. It's called the Aurora Borealis, also known as northern lights that grace the skies over North Alabama. Take a look at this. This is a picture taken by Voltaire in Paint Rock. That is so beautiful. You can see shades of purple and pink over the night sky. Some pictures there was even red. But what causes the Aurora Borealis? Our very own Emily Owen explains.
Well, the Aurora Borealis, also known as the Northern Lights, It's a combination of a bunch of different things out in space, but first and foremost, it starts with what we call the solar wind. The solar wind is heat and charged particles that are emitted by the sun that then travel through space. You also have a magnetic field, which is surrounding Earth. Earth's magnetic field protects us from most particles that are emitted by the sun, kind of like a shield. Then you have a solar storm. On occasion, the sun will emit more charged particles than normal, so they are able to penetrate that shield. And during a solar storm, these extra charged particles will reach Earth's different poles. So you have the North Pole and you have the South Pole. Now, charged particles from the sun then collide with oxygen and nitrogen in Earth's atmospheres, and that's what gives us the different colors. So oxygen produces a red and green light, while nitrogen produces a pink and blue light. So they emit different colors of light once they interact with the particles. Now, we also do have different aurora shapes. The shape of an aurora, it's going to depend on your viewing position and Earth's magnetic fields.
Every year on November 3, 2, 1. Every year on November 11th, Americans honor its veterans. We sat down with one veteran working to help others, plus a look back at Huntsville's Veterans Day Parade and an honor flight homecoming. Ty Oswald was just out of high school when he swapped his cap and gown for combat boots. His journey took him halfway around the world. 15 months into Iraq that would change him forever. But his greatest mission came after he came home, when he decided to help other veterans find their way back too. Fox 54's Valentina Chalala spoke to Oswald about what service has meant for him.
The military spent a lot of time training me how to rewire helicopters and fix weapon systems. While I was over there, I was detailed out to do convoy security, either driving or being the gunner of a security truck outside the wire, trying to get from point A to point B without getting shot or blown up.
In the middle of that constant uncertainty, one mission stood out. A day that tested his strength and his understanding of what it really meant to serve.
One of our guys passed while we were on a mission. Then I was tasked to help take out a group of guys that were on the search and rescue mission for that. Whitaker ultimately passed when he drowned, coming off of the truck that he was in. That kind of sticks with me.
He says life in a war zone is constantly changing, but when the missions end and the noise stops, that's when a different kind of battle begins. The stillness, the loss of structure. Oswald says that's where many veterans struggle to find their place again.
I started with my own mental health journey, trying to find other constructive activities in town to do, to try to disconnect from playing the repeat of what had happened while I was deployed and combat stuff or whatnot. And didn't find anything that fit for me. For a couple of months of pointing the finger at why hasn't anybody else done this, I figured out it all of a sudden turned into, well, why don't I do it?
Founded in December of 2013, Bearded Warriors began as a small online community where Oswald shared articles and resources to help veterans adjust to life after service. Through their work, Oswald says he's learned that even after the uniform comes off, the mission continues, and he wants every veteran to know they are not alone.
If you're dealing with something or struggling with something that's happened while you were in or before you went in, reach out to the resources that are available. Don't be afraid to reach out and talk to somebody, because there's always somebody willing to listen.
In Huntsville, I'm Valentina Chalala, Fox 54 News.
In Huntsville, the city honored the men and women who serve our nation in uniform. Veterans Day is a significant event here in the Rocket City, which is home to thousands of active military and veterans. Fox 54's Logan Alexander Russell was there for the city's parade this morning.
Crowds showed their love and appreciation to those who serve our country at the annual Huntsville Veterans Day Parade. The parade started at 11:11 this morning near the Huntsville-Madison County Veterans Memorial and had over 150 entries. The weather was cold, but that didn't stop hundreds of people from lining the streets to thank our nation's heroes. Participants walked and danced down the route while others waved from floats. Elected officials, military personnel, car groups, and first responders also joined today's celebration, Families enjoyed music from high school and college marching bands and performances from various other groups. One woman in the crowd says her husband is a retired veteran and her son is actively serving. She says parades like the one today mean so much to them.
They serve because they love their country and the freedoms that it provides us. They are just proud to be an American. They want to offer the next generations the opportunities that we've had.
The event came at the end of Huntsville's annual Veterans Week, which honors those who have donned a uniform. One group today served to show their support. Hatch, a nonprofit organization aimed at youth empowerment, grilled and handed out free hot dogs to those at the parade. The co-founder says they were able to give out over 1,000 hot dogs to bystanders and participants in the parade.
It's important to give back, make it an enjoyable experience. So many veterans treat this day as a day to remember and a day to come out and be with the community. So to have a warm hot dog, especially when it was 20 degrees this morning, really goes a long way.
Coyne says all the leftover hot dogs are going to shelters in the area. From Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
Yeah, Logan, it seemed to be a pretty good turnout today.
Yes, there were a lot of people out there today. I mean, and everyone had like their little American flags and were lining the streets, and there was a lot of great performances as well.
Yeah, and from what I understand, this is a part of Huntsville's annual Veterans Week, I think?
Yes, so today was basically like the grand finale. They had a veterans breakfast and a veterans dinner earlier in the week, and then today was the parade.
Yeah, it just seems like this community is very focused on making sure we take care of our veterans. I mean, we have so many organizations, you could just list them off, but it was so good seeing people come together on today to honor them. And I do like the fact that whatever is left over from that veterans event, the hot dogs, that they're going to give that to people who need it, because there's a lot of hungry folks.
They had thousands of hot dogs still left over, so they said that it was going to go to local shelters, and they'll continue to serve.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Logan.
Local veterans returned home today from a special honor flight to Washington, D.C. The trip, sponsored by GE Aerospace, took Huntsville area veterans to memorials across D.C. and the Arlington National Cemetery. A welcome home celebration took place at Huntsville International Airport, where the community gathered to give the veterans the recognition many never received. Veteran Carrie Nivens describes the moment.
I just figured few people would be here, but I had no idea they were going to be this, large of a crowd and this welcome home. It sort of helps to ease the pain, because we didn't get much of a welcome home when we came home from the war. I can't put it into words. It's just fantastic, the turnout and what they've done and how they went about surprising us and welcoming home us.
You heard that right. For veterans returning, today's celebration was a complete surprise. The trip happened ahead of Veterans Day on Tuesday.
Fort Payne residents react to a shocking double homicide. More on the killing man accused of making terrorist threats against Deschler High School, a march for justice for John Scott Jr., and new trees at a community center. A community is shocked and outraged after a shooting left 2 people dead and a person in custody yesterday evening in Fort Payne. Police say they received a call of shots fired around 6 p.m. in the 1300 block of Alabama Avenue. Many people have taken to social media, Facebook, including the family of one of the victims, claiming the suspect had previously made numerous threats against the victim. Fox 54 is digging into that suspect's troubling past. And our Logan Alexandra Russell spoke with neighbors today and shares what we found in our investigation.
This neighborhood is at a loss for words after police arrested Jacob Mitchum for the fatal shooting of Logan Brown and Alicia Keller in their home yesterday. Neighbors I spoke with today tell me that this neighborhood is very peaceful and that this is the last thing that they would expect to happen in their backyard. The Fort Payne Police Department says officers found the couple in the kitchen of their apartment. Officers performed CPR once on scene, but their attempts were unsuccessful. Officials say they received word that Mitchum was headed to Oxford. Oxford police arrested him and transported him back to Fort Payne Police Department, where he faces capital murder. Residents of Fort Payne are in disbelief. One neighbor who was next door when the shooting happened says gunshots were the last thing on their mind.
I was sitting here on the phone, playing on the phone, and heard shots, and it sounded like somebody was using a hammer right next door behind this wall right here. And I walked upstairs to my son-in-law and my daughter and asked them if they was using a hammer, and they said no. Well, I thought the neighbors was hanging up pictures, and come to find out, it was something totally different.
No kids were in the apartment at the time of the shooting. Records show that in July of 2020, Keller received a protective order for her and a child against Mitchum. That document required Mitchum to surrender his firearms to law enforcement. The courts terminated the protective order in August of this year, but the reason for the termination is unclear. The investigation is still ongoing and a motive is not known at this time. In Fort Payne, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
And we've learned Mitchum does have an existing criminal record, including convictions on drug counts and criminal mischief. He's now held at the DeKalb County Detention Center. One man we've learned is behind bars in Tuscumbia. He's accused of making threats targeting Deschler High School. We have new information on the story that we broke on Fox 54 Friday night. The arrest comes after protests and online discussions focus on the case of August Borden, a 15-year-old football player who suffered serious injuries on August 19th. But police say these comments went too far. Tuscumbia police arrested 47-year-old Robert Bowman following some social media posts and videos that authorities say alarmed students and staff, prompting canceled activities and heightened safety measures at the school. Police say they made the arrest to keep the Deschler High School community safe from any threat of violence. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo gives us the details.
In the wake of protests and social media chatter here at Deschler High School, Tuscumbia police arrested Robert Bowman on Friday for allegedly making terroristic threats against the school. The alleged threats came from social media videos of Bowman recording himself driving around Deschler High School and its football stadium. In the videos, Bowman is accused of saying things like, quote, "I have something else planned if the cops don't kill me first," end quote. An affidavit from police investigators also claims Bowman was yelling from his vehicle. Some students and faculty took that as a threat, canceling a cross-country practice and locking themselves inside the stadium. And court documents say that the alleged threats made people fearful that he would escalate to violence. The police department considered the arrest beforehand, consulting with the FBI and the county sheriff's office before taking Bowman in Friday night. He's still in jail today with a bond set at $10,000. Chief Tony Logan with TPD tells me it's an ongoing case, but he says Bowman's arrest was to keep everyone safe at the Deschler High School football game on Friday.
The main thing was he was driving by the school while he was posting videos. And, you know, you couldn't really tell a whole lot of what he said, but it was pretty much that he was going to come back that night during the football game and maybe cause some potential trouble. So for the safety of everybody involved, the crowd, the kids, and everybody, we felt like that we needed to take some kind of action.
Bowman has a conviction from a prior arrest and was previously out on a suspended sentence. It's currently unclear if he can be released from the county jail before a parole revocation hearing takes place. In Tuscumbia, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Bowman is facing a first-degree charge for a Class C felony of making terroristic threats, the sentence for which ranges from 2 to 10 years. We'll have more for you as the case progresses.
New legal filings tonight in the case of the Killen man accused of making terrorist threats against Deschler High School. An attorney for Robert Sean Bowman has filed a formal discovery request in Colbert County District Court. The defense is demanding the prosecution turn over of any written or recorded statements Bowman made to law enforcement. They're also seeking access to any physical evidence, documents, or recordings the state intends to use at trial. And Bowman is calling for a preliminary hearing, as is his right. He wants the judge to set a date. Police allege the 47-year-old Killen resident posted threatening videos to TikTok and Facebook before driving onto school property last Thursday, frightening students and faculty. Bowman faces a felony charge of making a terrorist threat.
The fight for justice continues for John Scott Jr. as the community is taking to the streets of Decatur. Scott, known as LJ, died in April after an arrest that included officers tasing and punching him. Now his family and supporters are holding a peaceful walk to demand accountability. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell gives us the rundown on today's walk and where things stand regarding the incident.
I miss my son so much. It's so hard to deal with. If you haven't lost a son, I mean, everybody loses somebody, but this was my son. And the way he died, he should never have died that way.
The family of John Scott Jr. continued to fight for justice today in downtown Decatur. Family and community members gathered in the parking lot across from the Morgan County Courthouse for what they are calling a peaceful awareness walk. The walk, which started at 4 p.m., is meant to keep pressure on public officials months after John Scott Jr. died following a violent confrontation with Decatur police. The father of 5 died in April, a week after officers responded to his home for a mental health crisis. Officers were aware of a failure to appear warrant and attempted to arrest Scott. Released body camera footage showed the 39-year-old being tased, struck, and restrained on the ground. He later suffered a medical event at the Morgan County Jail and died in the hospital on April 22nd.
Nobody deserves it, but he definitely didn't deserve it.
The external investigation into Scott's death, led by the Madison County Sheriff's Office, is complete. The findings were handed over to Morgan County District Attorney's Office and are currently under review. Scott's mother filed a $100 million lawsuit in August alleging wrongful death and civil rights violations. The family says their message today is that mental illness is not a crime, and they want the community to remember the great son, cousin, and brother who they miss so dearly.
He was loving, caring. Mental health was not that wasn't his everyday life. That wasn't who he was. So I want everybody to see the type of person that he was, and that's what we're going to be out here fighting for justice until we get it.
In Decatur, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
The Morgan County District Attorney's Office is currently reviewing the findings, and recently the family dropped the Priceville Police Department and Officer Gary Chapman from the lawsuit. Huntsville's urban forest is getting a boost this morning thanks to a group of dedicated volunteers. The city's green team and community members gathered at the Calvary Hill Community Center for their tree planting day. The city says these trees are a vital natural resource. The trees for the project were funded through a federal grant. Volunteers planted around 200 trees today, and they also received a free tree to take home. The manager of the green team says the effort is critical for the community.
Well, it really is to improve the park. So we know that we're going to have more wildlife. We've actually improved the park because they're going to have shade around the playground, and they've got a walking track back there. So we really feel like it's going to make the space more useful.
The event went from 9 this morning until noon. Salters says the leftover trees are being taken to another county for planting.
The Huntsville Police Department opened a brand new high-tech complex to better process and store crime evidence. The department held a ribbon cutting this morning for the new facility. The crime scene and evidence warehouse complex cost about $10 million and broke ground just over a year ago. It features state-of-the-art labs, office space, evidence processing areas, and vehicle bays. The chief says the property will provide more space for investigators and forensics teams to work more effectively and collaboratively.
Our crime scene investigators, they literally did not have a good spot to work out of. It did the best they could with what we had. And with that said, you know, a lot of these guys were working out of the trunks of their cars and have to process evidence and things of that nature. To get to this point is tremendous for us.
Tons of safety measures are in place around the facility, including various cameras, and all doors require keycard access. The new building sits across the street from the police department and is readily available for teams to use around the clock. And today, select Huntsville police officers were some of the first to receive new automatic external defibrillators. The AEDs were bought for the Huntsville Police Department thanks to opioid settlement funds. Officers today got the chance to see how the AEDs work and how they would use them if needed in the field. Don Webster with HEMC was at the distribution and expressed his appreciation to the city.
We're excited, for the administration and the city of Huntsville to take this on. It provides a safer place for our community, and hopefully will reduce the number of pre-hospital deaths in the in the setting of the city of Huntsville.
Webster told Fox 54 that in the past year, there have been 225 deaths connected to cardiac events.
Now, Fox 54's Top Teacher, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
This top teacher we're about to meet is loved by her students and fellow staff. Her love for teaching started when she was a child in Jamaica, so it's no surprise that she was nominated for what she says is her God-given talent. Meet this week's Fox 54's top teacher, Dr. Rochelle McLean from Oakwood Adventist Academy. Welcome to
I enjoy what I do. This doesn't even feel like a job.
Dr. Rochelle McLean's
I've always wanted to be a teacher. I mean, this is just a gift that God has given me.
5th grade class.
My dad was a teacher. I was born in Jamaica, and I would play school.
McLean is now at Oakwood Adventist Academy doing what she loves.
Well, right now we're using an app called Novel Effect.
What's better than a little hydration?
And when they return, it's an app where you can read, and the app shows music to the reading, so it brings literacy to life.
She's been at the school for 5 years and likes to integrate those interactive tools to teach.
I love technology. That my master's was in integrating technology, so I like to bring technology into the classroom.
But sometimes the lessons can be difficult for the kids. Take math, for example.
Some of the kids, they don't really like math, but I'm like, math is a language of God. You know, math is everywhere. Math is when you're cooking. It's outside with the bees. The bees use geometry to find the nectar. God is everywhere.
Vice Principal Laureen Garnett says McLean is deserving of this award because of her dedication and kind demeanor.
It is a wonderful honor, especially someone like Dr. McLean, who is a quiet force. You'll never hear her yell. You'll never hear her frustrated.
McLean hopes that her kiddos leave her classroom feeling valuable.
I want them to know that their life matters, that no matter how they feel inside, how insignificant they may feel because they're young, their life matters.
As you can see, they really do love her. Every child in Dr. McLean's class had some kind words to share about her. We have that in the moment she was surprised right here on Fox 54 Plus. Also nominated teacher on fox54.com. Thank you for watching Fox 54's Week in Review. Count on Fox 54 Plus to bring you great programming with in-depth local specials, locked-on sports, true crime, cooking shows, wellness experts, and continuing weather coverage. For everyone at Fox 54 News, I'm Kenesha Dees. Have a great weekend.